It's your girl, and I'm back with another video. I don't know why I always have to be like super dramatic at the beginning. I feel like that adds some spunk. Anyway. This video is for my buyers. This is going to be a part 2 to my finding a realtor video. The first one was for my sellers. So this one is going to be finding a realtor for my buyers. I feel like I'm here to give you this information because buyers, this is your time to shine in this market. You take the market back from the people, you take it back from the sellers, and you get what you want. You get out here, you get with it. That is my motivation speeches that I give to my buyers, so be prepared. But yes, like I said, so I'm gonna give you some tips on finding a realtor if you are a buyer. Let's get right into it. Okay, so number one for finding a realtor if you're a buyer. There is no magic formula. So these are just honestly tips that I want you to look for in your person. You have to find the person that fits you. I mean, you guys, like, it's kind of like the dating pool. Like, you just have to find somebody that matches your vibe, that can understand you, you know. This is like I've always said, this can be like a 3-month marriage. This can be a 6-month marriage, or it can be a year. I mean, literally until you find the home and you move in and I give you the keys, we're together. This is us. So, you know, you definitely have to be aware of what you're looking for. And that is why I wanted to do this video, because so many people go based off, oh, I saw this person on Instagram. Yes, I want you to find me on Instagram. Plug my shameless plug right here. But when you go to that person's Instagram, are you going to their Instagram and you fell in love with them and wanted to work with them because they're genuinely providing value? Or is it because, you know, they drive a Tesla, everything looks really nice and shiny, and you think they're going to be able to help you? I am here to tell you, COVID days are over. Sales are not falling in our laps anymore. People actually have to start working now. And you need to find somebody that is going to work for you. And I kid you not when I'm saying this. There are so many people that were up in the last 2 years, but now that the market is shifting and, you know, demand has lowered among buyers and sellers are a little more skeptical, days on the market have risen, it's gonna shake up a lot of things. And after we come out of, you know, whatever this recession will look like once it's over, once the market, you know, officially cools back down into what it was prior to COVID, a lot of those realtors you've already fallen in love with probably won't even be there. And that's just me being honest. My number one, which is social media. So yes, all of us realtors are on social media. Everybody plays a different social media game. I definitely try to come from the place of education, transparency, and honesty. You know, some people come from, you know, showing all the work that they're doing. I try not to come from that place because, I mean, literally, you can post all this stuff unless it's an actual closing. You know, it could just be something that you're doing, and you know, those deals may not have necessarily gone through. So, you know, it depends on what the value is that they're providing. Are they genuinely providing you value and you're understanding where you can fall in the marketplace? Look for the topics that they're speaking on. You know, are they showing you data charts? If not, are they providing you videos that actually provide information? Are they providing buyer topics? For one, I want people to understand that a lot of agents and realtors are not buyer specific. Some people do only work with sellers. Some people are not as familiar with buyers' needs. Some people just don't want to work with buyers at all. So don't necessarily just look, like, yes, they are providing value, but they're only talking to sellers. So try to find somebody that is like specifically talking to you, providing information for buyers, letting buyers know what is actually going on in the market as it has shifted. Are they like updating daily? Are they active on social media? So, but like I said, this is only if you're looking for somebody on social media. This is what I'm telling you to look for in their, in their portfolio, their grid, or whatever, stories or whatever. Number 3 is going to be somebody that you have really good rapport with. Always, I talk about communication. Communication is just a huge factor into, being, actively home shopping, as far as the lender goes. You just want to have great communication and good rapport, and something that kind of naturally just flows. If at any point it gets a little complicated, of course things happen with people, don't get me wrong, like you don't want to knock somebody out over that, but you can't always be busy when you're working with somebody and you have somebody actively looking in the market, especially nowadays. So, we got to be on top of every house that we want to see. Communication cannot be a factor when you're speaking with somebody. We need great rapport. We need to be talking on the phone. Of course, as a realtor, I usually ask my clients, like, how often do you want to talk to me? Do you want to talk to me like at the end of every night to let us know what progress we have made? Do you want to talk to me every week? Do you want me to text you? Do you want me to email you? Your realtor should be asking you how you prefer to communicate. But you want to, like I said, it shouldn't be like pulling teeth. It should be very easy to communicate with them and, to be straightforward and open. Always remember, we work for you. You are the client, we work for you. So whatever you say goes. Yes, I am going to have some things that I require of you as working for you, but hey, the ball is in your court, because at the end of the day, obviously you can go to the next person to, buy a home with them. So number 4 is going to be active in the market currently. If they're not at least in the market currently, the market has shifted within the last 4 weeks. So, if they're not currently working and maybe they've been on hiatus, since the beginning of the year or the last couple of months, or if they're on summer vacation, unless they're like, a seasoned agent, you need somebody who is active right now. And like I said, maybe if you're on social media, you can kind of see what they're doing, and that can kind of give you a heads up as to what they have going on right now. But if they don't have a social media, that also should kind of be a red flag. So you definitely want somebody who's active in the market right now, and that can really guide you and let you know what is going on. The California market is different right now from a lot of the other markets. We're still very much in a seller's market. Like I said, we're curving the way, so buyers are getting some leeway, but you need somebody that can explain these things to you and how you need to, basically game plan until you find a home or sign on the dotted line till you get the keys, basically. Number 5 is going to be vendors and resources. A couple examples of vendors and resources. I'm thinking of like home buyer programs, first time home buyer programs, anything that the state may offer as far as grants, or we're just gonna say potential free money that will give you some money off. If there's any particular lenders that may that you like working with more than others, of course, I always tell buyers, research your own lenders first, and then I will bring you lenders, and then we will kind of compare and contrast. As far as vendors, I'm like inspectors. Maybe they have a pool of inspectors. Like my office, as far as home warranty goes, we're teamed up with Fidelity National Home Warranty, which offers 1-year home warranty programs, and I think they also offer 2. Where is the hazard report coming from? So you just want to make sure that whoever you work with is pushing a bunch of information to you, so you feel like you have options, so you don't feel like you're maybe bending over backwards or have limited resources and options, you know, available to you. Now, as I always say, everybody's situation is different. Income situations are different. So this may not be, you may just naturally have limited resources, but you at least want to make sure the vendor pool is, you know, something that you can work with. 6 is going to be somebody that can cater to your needs in your situation. And this is just where the transparency part comes in. And as a realtor, I need as much transparency from you as a buyer as you need from me. So we both have to be transparent in the situation. And I definitely feel like that should have probably been the number one thing, because as much information as I bring you, I need you to give me that same amount of information back. Because, you know, don't have me looking for a house without a backyard, or, you know, something that you desire, or, you know, something that is handicap friendly. You know, it's just a bunch of different situations where buyers kind of cut corners and aren't necessarily being all the way up front, which may either hinder the realtor, you know, from doing the job to their full potential. But there's also situations where the realtor, you know, they start trying to persuade you in things and, you know, offer you options that you don't really need. So you want to have somebody that really understands your needs and your situation and can help you with that. Final one, which is number 7, no negative Nancy's. I mean, clear, no negative Nancy's. You don't want somebody that's just always down. And I want you to understand the enthusiasm difference. We want somebody that can explain things good and have a more positive, a more realistic outlook than just being happy and, you know, just pushing positivity. Because yes, things are always, we're going to try to be as positive as possible just in the general situation. But if things aren't working and you need to regain plan, you want to have somebody that can take you from point A to point B. If you need to go back to A, you know, they're not getting down on themselves or like instilling all this doubt in your mind that, you know, that is unrealistic or not even there, that just pushes your anxiety. As I've said in previous videos, let me hold the anxiety, let me hold the panic, let me hold the fear. I'm not gonna show you that, but you know, this is also just a realistic life situation that we're going through together. So I'm literally not gonna be crying on the phone with you. You know, I'll let you understand my frustration, but I'm not going to come from a negative aspect. I'm not going to think, you know, have you thinking we're in a freaking sinkhole and we're not there. So, you know, no negative Nancy's is just my final word, because I think that also, again, is very important. You know, when we do have our rapport and our weekly meetings or nightly meetings or whatever it is, you know, I want you to get off the phone feeling comfortable. I don't want you like literally going to sleep with one eye open the whole night. I want you to be okay and like make it to the next day. Like, obviously, once it turns 8 o'clock at night, nobody else is working. So you shouldn't be panicking, because there's nothing we can do in the middle of the night. And I always tell my buyers that, like, we have to make sure you save some of the emotions for when we're really, you know, when it's really a stressful situation. You know, I don't want to, you know, push negativity off on you or frustration and make you feel like, you know, you're the problem. And, you know, just those people that, you know, do that, it's very clear and you can usually generally tell, you know, when it's headed in that direction. So you want somebody that can just keep it real without the negative part of it. And yes, like I said at the beginning of the video, buyers, this is your time to shine. If you've been getting knocked out the game for the past couple years or months, or if you haven't felt comfortable shopping just because, you know, if it wasn't the right time, you know, your spirit wasn't feeling it or things like that, now is your time to go out and kill it. And like I said, do not, I don't even know if I said this in the video, but when shopping, Do not focus on the interest rates. Do not focus on the negativity and the headlines. Focus on what you can afford, what your monthly payment can afford. And like I always tell you, be flexible. Everybody's situation is different. Do not get hung up on your dream home. Allow it to flow. You know, if you have to minimize into a condo for now, that condo still belongs to you. You're still going to walk away with some equity, especially here in California. Like I said, prices are on the rise. So we're not, you know, it may not be going up as high as fast, but we're definitely still on the way up. Even within the next 5 years, we're still going to be up. It's going to add a little, you know, even if it's $20,000 extra that you're walking away with, I mean, that's better than what you had the year before. So, you know, be open, be honest, you know, be transparent. Look for somebody with those qualities as well. And that is just a bigger picture. Have somebody that is providing you with education and just doesn't have you out here wandering all crazy. You know, this is the moment for that. And now, like I said at the beginning of this, the last 2 years was very easy to a lot of realtors because, you know, the housing market was so loud and active. It was like you couldn't help, like you had to find a deal somewhere in the pile. Have somebody that's really going to hold your hand through the process and, you know, be having the hard conversations with you and able to help you make the hard decisions. This is a life-changing experience. This is the biggest transaction that you're ever gonna make in your life. And I really want you to understand that. And I want you to lead with that. Like lead with your heart, but also lead with the knowledge in your mind. Thank you for tuning in again. And I wish you guys all success on your home buying journeys. And I hope you find the person for you. Bye.